Welcome everybody to the Tack Box Podcast. Today's Tuesday, September 2nd. We're into fall, Dale. Holy cow.
Is
It's
it
like
fall?
I don't think specifically on the calendar that it's fall, but I have this mindset of like Labor Day hits and then it's fall. It's like pumpkin spice things are okay, straw hay bales, mums.
Well, I was in Tractor Supply and they had a 9-foot scarecrow, Skeletor, merchant of death thing there that you could push the button and eyes would light up. So I guess that does mean it's a change of seasons. You know,
Well, yeah, just don't go to Hobby Lobby because they already have Christmas stuff out and it's really disappointing. It's come on, Hobby Lobby, do better. That's a
don't go to
lot. So
don't go to Hobby Lobby. Period. Just let that go.
so
No need of that.
I went to the farm store this weekend, and their mums were, like, gigantic. I
Huge,
could barely get my
right?
arms around it and pick them up, so it was like I had to get a couple mums, and then I was like, "Okay, if I'm putting mums out, I guess my mental side of it, we're in
There
the
you go.
fall."
Yeah, we have turned the page.
So you were judging Beagle Fest this weekend?
Yes, we got Beagle Fest, some fabulous, fabulous beagles. I mean, choices, quality. I mean, beautiful dogs. The winner was from Poland. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they came over for the national, and she won under all the breeder judges and me. But she was, my gosh, beautiful red and white beagle from Poland. They had won the group at the World Show. They told me later, so very exciting. It's fun to see. Like we were talking before about the dogs that are in our breeding programs are from a global perspective. Between we're and they had also brought over for somebody else, someone over there, like a little female that they dropped off, won a major. So that's really cool. The kudos to the Beagle people for thinking outside the box.
Yeah, and I mean, I think there's stuff that we can all take away from that that is super cool to see, and glad you got to do that, and then you're heading to Greeley this weekend.
Greeley's this weekend. You did your first whelping this last weekend, so that was pretty cool. What was that like?
It was long. Yeah, it was long. It felt super long. She went 2 hours in between puppy 1 and puppy 2, so it was
Were you
like,
panicking yet? Were you like doing this?
nah, I started getting there after about an hour and a half. I started getting a little panicky, and
You,
was
you
like,
felt a little clutch in your throat,
yeah, it's
like a
like,
little
"Crap, am I gonna have to go to a vet here? What's going?" Well, and especially because placenta did not come out with puppy number 1. Puppy number 1 came out by itself,
puppy
no
came out
placenta,
breech, didn't it? It was breech.
breech, and no placenta. So it was like,
Mm-hmm.
like, well, here, perfect for the first one. Yeah, this is great, and then, we get that puppy out and it was just like, it was coming up on like an hour. And so I start Googling, like, how long should this take? And I'm like, well,
How long
it
should
can
this
take,
take, Chat
yeah,
GPT?
exactly. And it's like, well, it can take 1 to 2 hours in some cases. I was like, okay, so I'm good until 2 hours. Chat GTP says 2 hours, so we'll go roll with that. Well, then we started rolling up on 2 hours and nothing's happening. And I'm like, okay. So then I was just
Panic
like,
button.
yeah, I was starting to panic. You were in Iowa, trying not to bug you. So I reached out to somebody else, like, oh, I've had 4 or 5 hours. I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. And then literally within 5 minutes, she starts having contractions again. And then it was second puppy, and then 45 minutes, third puppy. When the second puppy came out, two placentas. So that was like a big old mess. And second
Right.
puppy. And
Yeah.
then 45 minutes later, third puppy, 45 minutes later, fourth puppy. And then from there, it was just chowing down and nursing puppies.
There you go.
After the fourth puppy, she was ready to chow down on some food and start relaxing with her kiddos. So it went as good as you could imagine. You couldn't ask for more. They give you a little bit of scares for your first time,
Yeah.
but
Every time. Yeah.
but you need
Of
that.
course.
It keeps you on your
It
toes.
keep you on edge. Well, the big thing is more so than the time, the actual amount of time it is is she in labor and is she pushing and nothing's happening? If she's like laying over there smoking a cigarette, like chilling out, like then she's all right. But if she's like struggling or seems panicked or not, whatever, then she's I mean, then you worry if they're like in there, they're straining and nothing's happening, laboring and nothing's happening. That's a problem. But if they're not doing anything and they're chilled out, then you've got time. Then that's okay. They're not ready yet. And some breeds go longer than others. Like I've had the cockers go long times. I mean, big time. I've had one that thought she was all done, clean them up, put them all together and stuff, and checked her that night. Next morning, oh, there's a seventh puppy. Where did that come from? Like,
Did I count
okay,
wrong beforehand?
wow. I'm like saying, but there wasn't one that color, was there? But yeah, anyway, but it can be a while, and there's like a little grace period in there when they're just like getting themselves ready.
Yeah, it was interesting because I couldn't sleep the night before for some reason, like, probably because I had just this idea that she was gonna be going into labor, her temp was dropped and, things like that, so I was like, "Eh." And it's like so I got up at 3 a.m., couldn't sleep, I just got sick of laying there, so I just got up, I was like, "I'm gonna do some working on the website." I was watching the camera, while I was working on the website, and then it's like 4 a.m., saw a contraction, I was like, "Okay, here we go." Woke
There
up
you
my
go.
wife because she wanted to be a part of it, woke McKenna up because she wanted to be a part of it. McKenna comes upstairs, falls asleep right on the floor,
Sure. I'm a
you know?
part of it. I'm here.
I'm a part of it because 'cause I'm in the same room, so
I'm
here we
in the
go.
room. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, and remember these times because, because like, just in a few short years of it going, do you need me? Do you need me to get up? I mean, like,
You
you
can
know,
handle this on
yeah,
your own,
like
right? You
paper,
got this.
scissors, rocks, I mean, who has to sit up, that kind of thing.
Yeah, now it's an event, and it's a
Now
whole
it's an
family
event.
ordeal because everybody's
Yeah,
excited, and, you only have one first, so, it was the first whelp that
there
we
you
had in
go.
our house here, and now we move forward raising puppies and planning, for the future.
Well, part of that planning for the future will be taking pictures of those puppies that you intend to sell because you're not going to keep all of them. I hope not. But so when it comes time to start marketing those puppies, it's gonna, you're gonna. That's how the pictures are everything in your marketing campaign.
Yeah, and so I started thinking about that the other day. We were talking about pictures on the last episode. You had some people that reached out to you about pictures, and so I was kind of thinking about pictures, and then we started going through the whelping, and my wife Meredith's sitting over there taking pictures of everything, and I'm just like, you better not be posting those things. Like, don't post pictures. Like, take them for your own memories, but let's get the placentas out and stuff like that before we're taking pictures.
Well,
And
absolutely. Whenever you're taking any well, you should evaluate any picture that you post on social media, on your website, or send out. Take a look at it. What's going on in that picture? You know, do you have? Remember a million years ago, I had a lady that sent me a picture of a puppy that she was offering for sale, and it was a Polaroid, and so shaking it.
you gotta shake it, yeah.
Yeah, and I said, "Look at what's that? It's all scratched up there." And Jane's like, "Oh, she obviously didn't take the cigarette out of her mouth when she took the picture stacking the dog, and then just took a pencil eraser and just scratched that part of the picture out because she didn't want to be sitting there with a cigarette hanging out of her lip, stacking on me like a true dog person." But yeah, you want to look around, look and see what. What's your background? What's everything in there? I mean, does it look like a scene from Hoarders in the background? I mean, think about that picture in all sorts of different things. Because once you share it, it's no longer yours. And you really need to think long and hard. What does that look like? I mean, how does that, because of course, everything you post, somebody's going to find something wrong with it, but you don't need to make it easy for them. So you really need to stand back and go, if I hated me and I saw that picture, what would I say about me? That kind of thing. You need to really self-evaluate that as if that picture to see what you think about it and whether it's good or not.
Yeah, and I hate to think that there's people out there like that, but there's people out there like that, and it's like everything that you post on social media, whether it's a picture or you type a status, somebody's picking it apart and looking at it under a microscope of what can I say, like, haha, gotcha. And I've
Sure.
seen pictures like that. I've seen pictures, where maybe not dogs specifically, but even things that people post on marketplace, and it's like, oh, this is for sale, and you're kind of looking at it, and you're like, what is all that in the background? Is that a keg? Or is
Yeah,
that
right, right.
yeah, what
Yeah.
is in the background here, and then it comes down to, like, do you wanna buy a puppy from somebody that's got an overflowing trash can of puppy pads or diapers or whatever in the back beer cans in the background? Is that environment conducive to raising a puppy and where you wanna bring it from? So you really have to look at that. So how to
Well, do you give the essence of somebody that has their stuff together? It's like this person's got they're down with imprinting, they're down with training, they're down with their vaccinations, they've got their paperwork. These people they're on. Of course, their house looks like, it just went through a hurricane, you know. I mean, and there we've got but yet we're going to go ahead and enter into a business transaction. Yeah, so no, all of that is very true.
So what are some, like, super important things to keep in mind other than the background when it comes to, taking pictures of puppies and posting them on whether it's a group or their website? Like, what are some of the key things, like lighting, angles?
Okay. So first we're going to just like evaluate what we got going on. And I mean, what does this look like? Is this like what are we trying to do exactly? So if we have, because people are going to want to see pictures of the parents. So you should have some nice pictures of the parents all groomed up. Try not to have mom look like she is wrung out and near dead. That's nice. Have a nice, good picture of her, you know, and use that
Not one
picture
right
of her.
after she got done whelping.
No, no, or weeding off the puppies, where she looks like a rescue from Cambodia. Yeah. And then when you go ahead and take a look at the picture, go ahead and say, is this, does this look like this is embodying what the people that would want the breed to have? I mean, is it standing like this, like its little legs are all twisted off? Does it look like the background? One thing that is really good now is, well, with digital pictures. If you share bad pictures now in the age of digital, you're lazy. You're lazy and you just don't give a shit, and it shows. Because I mean, I'm sorry.
Or
I
uneducated. Maybe they're
yeah,
uneducated, they need to watch this episode so they can
I
figure out how to fix this.
only if they have a landline and don't have a cell phone. I mean, because honest to God, we used to go ahead and take rolls of 35 millimeter and take it all in to get developed to find one picture.
If we're
One,
lucky.
if we're lucky. And we would call it the money shot. Like, oh my God, we've got the money shot. And, and that was like, and, and then we kind of went into like Polaroids, which is like I mean, you could get that instantly. Quality wasn't great, but it was kind of like a terrorist proof of life type of picture, like hold up the paper with the date and have the, take the Polaroid. But I mean, you could kind of see a little something there. But today, in the era of digital pictures, there is no reason to send, take, post, share a bad picture. Never. I mean, no, don't do it. I mean, because even to the point like don't show cages, pens, things like that in your pictures. Don't do that. You know, don't put them in a exercise area where you got poop next to your puppy that you're trying to sell these people. Wrong thing. That's kind of like you taking a picture with your baby with a leaking diaper. It's like, no, we want the image that they always smell good and they don't poop. You know, we all know it's a lie, but we're living the lie and we're kind of going for it. No, don't take, send, share, post pictures that aren't really good because you're going to get judged on it. And the customers, that's all they have. Unless they're coming to your house and they're going to get to pick it up and hold it and have it wag its tail, they're going to sit there and look at that picture and they're going to stare at it and they're going to look at it and they're going to stare at it and they're going to go, does that look okay to you? Da, 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 and they're going to super analyze that photo.
And they're gonna show everybody in the world too because they're excited about this puppy. Like, look at this
Like,
puppy I'm getting,
oh,
and this
here's
is
a
the picture
picture.
the breeder sent me. And then not only are they gonna analyze it, but all the eyeballs that they're showing are gonna analyze it, and they're gonna be tougher than the people getting the puppy because the people getting the puppy are super excited about the puppy. The other people are like, you see that Budweiser can in the background? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Do you think it looks like it's misshapen, or if its legs are bad, or
he's
its
got
tongue's
mange.
hanging out? Yeah. Yeah. Don't. So puppy needs to be clean. The puppy needs, background needs to be good. And then what are things about your breed that are considered to be easy faults? So if you have, say you should have like a French bulldog or something with ears up. Personally, I would not send pictures where their ears weren't up, even if I have to tape them. Showing that the tape are on. At least it shows, hey, ears are taped. Because they're going to have ears up. If you have it sitting there looking like their RCA dog, not confidence inspiring. And they're going to go, is my dog going to be like that for the rest of his life? Is there, they say, oh, the ear is coming up. When? Give me a date. I want to know when, because I'm not writing you out a check for thousands of dollars on that. That's not a sellable thing for me. All of those things on there, and really the competition online, even with people that have lesser quality dogs taking better quality pictures. And I see this all the time. I follow a couple of the designer pages with the doodles and stuff. And oh my gosh, those dogs are groomed out. They're beautiful. They have pretty, pretty pictures, lots of color, beautiful backgrounds. I mean, someone's putting effort into it, you know, and that is going to make the visceral thing, because, even like you go in there and, well, we're old married people, but people who are online dating, they're looking at the picture first. They don't read,
That's
"Oh,
what they're
you're
thinking.
a pilot, you've got a master's degree, you own 2 homes." No, they're like, "Show me the picture. Show me the picture. I don't care if it's serial killer with a prison record, but I gotta see the picture first." And if it appeals to you, then you're gonna take the next step. And that's really important, that you've got to do that, to get that next step.
I think that's something a lot of times just in general is, and we're talking dogs as a dog podcast, so we're gonna reference dogs and everything, but you can take a dog that, I'm just gonna say a beagle because we were talking about Beagle Fest. So you can take a
Mhm.
beagle that maybe is not breed standard. It has faults, maybe a disqualification. I'm not sure if beagles have disqualifications, but you could take one of those and you could superimpose this fancy background. It's in the pumpkin patch and it's sitting there and it's looking all pretty. And then you can take that picture and then you can take a beagle that's like a national champion and throw it in an X pen or its trolley, take a picture that's really crappy, put them side by side. Which one do you think the people are going to want to buy if they're in the market for a beagle? They're
They're
going to
gonna
buy the pumpkin
all
patch one
every time,
because it's
every
cute.
single
It's
time.
cute. Oh, look at that. It's cute.
It's
It's in a pumpkin
appealing
patch.
to look at. It's
Right.
appealing, and when you are relying on the photograph to convey the quality and stuff, it is the photographs that you send out are that's all. That is like a snapshot of what you represent as a breeder. And the pet shops, the commercial pet trade, they're taking great pictures. And people go, they bought from da 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 da. And that's just hey, they're customers. They're online shopping. They went off the Kohl's website with professional pictures, good backgrounds, and all that. And then they just went to look for their dog, and they expect the same quality. And so there's lots of and you don't have to be a master photographer in the age of digital to get good pictures. You really don't.
Especially with our
And
phones. Our phones have, I
the
mean,
phones, yeah.
we're even now in the age where you can take a picture of your dog in its X pen with a pile of crap next to it, and then you can circle the pile of crap and your phone will erase it right out of there. You just got to put a little bit of effort in, you know? So everybody's
Absolutely.
got a
I mean,
phone, right? So let's talk
everyone's got a
about how
phone.
do we get that good picture? How do we
Yeah.
even go about starting getting the, I
I
mean,
mean,
we got a phone, so
I threw away my 35 millimeter camera the other day that I bought new the year Tyson graduated from high school.
it's about time,
Yeah, it had time to go, but I paid for that. I paid money for
right?
that. Yeah, it
You
was
might have
like
been able to put that in a museum, you should have thought
it
about that.
probably so, exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is now they have backgrounds where you can go into what's called photo room. Google it. Photo room offers beautiful backgrounds and you can click on what you want on there and you can drop it on and do it all on your phone. Take minutes. Pay for the photo room app and you can make your pictures look bueno. It's like, wow. There is no anything. But if there's no reason not to do that. But if at very least, have your pictures exude some have a picture of you holding the dog and have a picture of the dog with in your living environment where they can kind of envision that dog on their couch, all of that. And then the other thing is some dogs don't photograph well. I mean, some dogs don't photograph
It's like
well,
humans.
and
Some humans don't
yeah,
photograph well. I might be one of them, I got to touch myself up quite a bit.
yeah. I mean, kind of go, that wasn't what I was thinking it looked like, but so when you have one of those dogs that doesn't take a good picture, video. Video. Make a video. You can put music in the background. You can put toys down. You can do narrative. You can show personality. I mean, video is magic, especially like if you have a dog that doesn't have the greatest markings, or maybe it has something where it doesn't look as symmetrical as you want or whatever, and you want to show other attributes. Video. Video is awesome. And you can even, when you're videoing, and you get this dog's doing these really, really cute things, you can snapshot it and take that frame out as a picture. When you're like shooting the video and the dog does something super crazy cute, like, look at that. And you can take that out of the video and use that just that one frame. All of these things, tricks to getting better pictures of your dogs. And that's what you need to share for people to see. And don't ever, 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 ever rush into getting someone a picture as far as like like I have some deposits on puppies. I guess I could go over there, stand there and go, no, no, they've got to be good pictures. They've got to be different pictures. They've got to show their next little stage of life and kind of go from there. I mean, it's important. It's all they have, and they're going to analyze it like it was a crime lab at the FBI. They're going to analyze that picture, and so go for it. Make it good.
And everybody is, and again, we're in 2025 where we have AI, we have this. I mean, I think you should always um, watermark your photos. I think that's a good idea if you can easily do that, which I know Photo
Very
Room
good
can do
idea.
that.
Yep.
Watermark them because I mean, you've had it happen to you where your picture's been stolen and somebody made a profile that was you and on Facebook and all that, and it wasn't even you. It was
No,
just stolen.
one of my customers sent me a picture that said, "Oh, do you think this is a good looking dog, Dale? I'm thinking I'm gonna buy it. It's only $750 and da 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 da." I said, "That's an excellent dog. That's a wonderful dog, actually." I said, "Now, that's my dog, and that dog would be 26 years old. And that's me in the picture with that dog 26 years ago." I said, "So that might not be a real ad. They might be wanting you to send money off of that picture that they went off of website and went, that's a nice picture. Someone will give us some money sight unseen for that." And so you have to kind of look to make sure and that is one other thing in the age of Photoshop as a buyer, and you're looking at pictures, video are more accurate as to what the dog actually is. because, some of the people with the pictures, they're artist renderings because they're cloning more hair on their faces. I saw one the other day of our breed, Chin, and it was a lovely, lovely picture. The head had all been filled in with hair, making the more pronounced forehead beautiful. The lips had been popped out, all cloned in hair. Not rocket science, and they've been smoothed down in the back. I'm like, going, that's a beautiful picture. Wonder how close that dog is to that picture. Probably not very. But, when, you need to, if you're buying something and you have a criteria for it, a video's nice. Video's nice. How about, let's go FaceTime live? How about that? I mean, go, if you really want to see what it looks like and see what the dog acts like, that's, that's, that's a little bit more of an acid test as far as what you really have.
And that's not wrong for a buyer to ask. I mean,
Heavens
I
no.
want my buyers to ask for FaceTime, but be patient with me because it
Absolutely.
might not be right this second. Like, let me get the puppy into a conducive situation where it can run around by itself without me having to, if I'm videoing on FaceTime with you, I need to have the puppy in a safe place to run around and do its thing. Well, like, let me get it away
Absolutely.
from its kennel and
Yeah.
we can
Absolutely.
FaceTime,
But do you
so.
take it? Well, absolutely. Try not to do your FaceTime while you're on the toilet. Be sure to just have a moment, where you're,
That's the nicest
you
room in
know,
my house, Dale. Come on.
I mean, it's and I'm gonna tell you, when you're doing the FaceTime and you're like, oh, shit, they're gonna be calling me in 15 minutes, and you just will pull on a t-shirt and you're like going, yeah, I'm just here in my boxers, but we're just gonna do this. And it's like you will drop the phone, something will happen. Always rule number 107, always be fully clothed when you go to FaceTime because, that's not a selling point. Or maybe it is, I don't know. But those are good things to go ahead and have on hand, have done.
So I think angles also matter. And I say that with the fact of I saw a picture the other day of a dog that I've seen in person, but I
Mhm.
saw the picture and I'm just like, dang, that dog got like what happened? I was just like, what happened? And it was really probably just that the angle amplified the faults of the dog.
Sure.
But that's something that you have to think about, right? And we got a phone call coming in, Dale. Old school.
Yeah.
That's like a phone that you put on the that your guy hanging on the wall, man.
It does, but it's not, but it does
It
have
gets
the
your
ring.
attention. You hear
Yeah,
it.
it does. I can actually still even hear that. Wish I
So
thought I had turned it off. Angles are
angles.
hugely important. You want to get on there, and that's part of the reason when as you're taking pictures of the dog, what kind of things are gonna be like, is this gonna look really good if the puppy is coming out of the bed? That's a cute anything showing action, movement, personality, temperament, color, all of those make pretty pictures. You know, they all show something that gives you a little bit of depth, whereas just like a flat sterile picture on a on a a blocky background, that's not appealing. That doesn't make people want that. You've got, like this is a picture I took the other day, and I mean, it's fun. It shows temperament, shows movement, you know, shows that the dog's got a bouncy little personality.
And now you're
Those
gonna
are
be getting hit up for that dog because it's a good looking dog. Everybody's gonna be like, that dog that you showed on the podcast. That's the one I want.
yeah, well, hey, it call me. My number's in listen. This is an unretouched natural picture. I haven't done anything with it. Just the dog got a bath, but I put a little background together. You can kind of see, that kind of thing. Those are things that you put, have in your can, to have that because people want that. They want to see that. They want to see, eh, or when you're taking a picture of like a littler baby, the younger they are, the harder they are to get good pictures. So you might just hold them, taking the picture with you, holding them close where they're looking around. I mean, that's just a picture with a selfie, but I mean, you can kinda, it shows eye expression and all that.
And you
Littler
can
puppies.
manipulate the head, right? They're
Right,
little
you
puppies
can
like
get
that, they're
the
floppies, so you can use your fingers that you're holding the dog with and kinda manipulate the head angle that you
absolutely.
want.
And that kinda thing comes with, younger puppy, and especially if you're doing it by yourself, because I don't wanna hear, "I have no one to help me." You can do this yourself, honestly. It's no harder than flossing your teeth. Drop your puppy into your planter, you know, get a cute picture showing expression and temperament.
And the thing is with, like, those pictures look like that dog probably just sat there perfectly for you and you snapped a picture, but in reality, the puppy was probably all over the place, and you probably took 50 pictures and got that one
50
where it was,
pictures
like,
of.
looks like it was sitting there perfectly.
And sometimes they can just be like expression pictures. Like you go, just like, that kind of thing where you can kind of get the vibe. But do think of your backdrop, think of your background, what looks pretty with you. Doesn't necessarily have to be. I like real pictures because I mean I do like that, even though the background just there's a real picture of the dog, unretouched. You can see the imperfections are there. I like those kind of pictures. I look for those kind of pictures. But, when you go in there to take, send pictures of your dogs out and stuff, that goes a long way. And
Well, and I think that there's a time and a place for the picture, so you could take that one picture you just have, that dog sitting on the bricks, the flowers in the background. You could put a filter on it, you could make the whites pop and the brown look really
you
gorgeous,
could.
and that's what you're putting on your website and your Facebook. Somebody's reaching
Absolutely.
out and they're saying, "Hey, I'm interested in this dog, do you have more pictures?" Now you can send a little bit of unrefined pictures to that person
Absolutely.
that's interested because they probably wanna see the real faults, the unrefined. It's like Snapchat and dating apps, all the things. It's like you don't ever the first picture you ever see isn't actual natural picture. They have filters on. All the people are using filters.
Absolutely.
They're making their
Absolutely.
skin look smoother and all that. And then, you
For
talk a
sure.
little bit and then it's like, oh, oh, here's the one
But
without the filter.
here
Wow.
here yeah, here's the real deal pictures, and, and that's all of that, like, when you're gonna take like, when people wanna take pictures of the litter, okay, have a pretty background, have it be something, fun and easy, and you can kinda see a little bit of, make sure it's a clean bed, all of that stuff, It's all some especially we see some stuff like overseas and stuff like that. We'll get a lot of some people saying it's a really rocking good, but completely filtered fake pictures. I mean, super fake. And people will like those, but they might be a little disappointed when they actually get the dogs, I like
See,
to
that's the thing. Like, I 100% believe in filters, and every picture you put on social media should be filtered of some sort, whether it's just enhancing the color a little bit,
making the color
or
brighter, prettier,
yeah, like
something like that
yeah,
where you're showing
there's
that.
a filter called like Vivid or something. And it's like it doesn't really
Yes, I
change it; it
use
just
that a
brightens it
lot
up.
because I use
And it,
that
and
to just to make your quality of pictures better.
Right. It just makes the colors pop, but it's not manipulating the picture to be like when they see the
No,
real dog, like that's not that dog. That's not the dog. And they're
right.
not gonna think that because it doesn't change that
Right.
picture.
It doesn't change and you can crop them down and you can fit them in there. It doesn't have to be just like a backdrop and all fake. It can be real. One thing that's really helpful is that now this is a fake background. I mean, on that picture, it's the real dog, but it's on the fake background. They just drop that in. One thing that's I think is kind of important is going ahead and making sure that, you know, you send accurate stuff where you're representing it truthfully, but you want to definitely enhance the qualities. You want to see what they're going to get, and then be, where they can tell what's really nice about the dog.
And the thing about a lot of that is, when you are going through like Canine Chronicle or you're seeing any sort of advertisement for dogs or accomplishments for dogs, like you see the dog, the real dog, but they always have different backgrounds in them. So it's like
Sure,
you can change your background around and put what you want. And, so like
absolutely.
I did that with my tri-bitch, because let's be honest, like, if you're taking pictures at the show, the backgrounds at dog shows, I mean,
Eh,
other than the professional, but it's like somebody, say a ringside person is taking a picture of you stacking your dog on the table, you're gonna get Betty picking her nose in the background. You're gonna get 3 other rings in the
absolutely.
background. Like, we're in barns, we're in these weird
Sure.
buildings, like, we
There's
don't.
a big yellow garbage can right behind your head.
Yeah, I mean, there's poop bags all over, so it's like, you're gonna manipulate those pictures a little bit, but the dog is still the dog. It's
The
still the
dog is
dog
still the
in the
dog.
picture.
And one thing that's really helpful with puppies is putting something in there uh, to differentiate size, especially in toy breed puppies. We were all the time, we'll go size, size, size. So sometimes I will take a picture and I will just set the puppy next to a can, just so they can kind of go, this is how big, because when you take that picture and you zoom in, it can look really big. I'm like going, is that a 22-pound chin? No, it's just like a really close up picture. And people sometimes can be a little put off by that. So use something that you can put a little bit of a size determining thing where they can go, like at first dog show pictures, we look at the ring marker thing where it says, what they've won, and that's about a foot tall. So if the dog, is standing way over this, and you go, that's a big dog, and you gotta make sure that things are to scale, I guess is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, so just for, like, talking about filters and reference, I have a picture here, and I'll show you the original picture, and then I'll put just a quick little, like, vivid picture on it that's built in my phone, so people can see, like, this is what this does to a picture and just how much nicer it looks. So, yeah, here's just a picture, just a little picture of my girl, and
Mm-hmm.
then you go and it's like, if you just wanna take and just put a little bit of a filter on it, you just hit that, and so all it did was brighten it up a little bit.
Brighten it up.
But you can see the colors pop a little bit more. Her brown and her eyes are popping a little bit more.
She's now a tricolor. You can see her tan, and
But
and
still
you
the
can
same dog. The tan's not blending
same
in with
dog.
the black as much, and
Right,
it's not
sure.
like I totally manipulated it to false advertise. It just touches it,
Enhancing.
gives it a little touch,
Right.
just a
Right.
little pop. And then kinda like this blue
Yeah.
light behind me, it's just little
Exactly.
blue
Just that.
pop.
Make it exactly.
So when one of the things that's going through my mind right now with pictures is like, I just had the litter. I got 3-day-old litter of puppies. It's like I want to take pictures and put them all over, and it's like, but they're ugly little things. I mean, newborn puppies are they're like newborn babies. It's just like what, ugh,
Send
like little
all of
alien
your
things.
letters. Send all of your letters about unattractive
Newborn
baby
babies.
comments to Tyson, care of Baby Bashing, South
Oh my god, they're
Dakota.
so ugly.
Well, I know they look like little space aliens. They look like
It takes like
Sigourney
a
Weaver just pulled it out of the and
well, and
oh,
it's
it's
like
so cute. It looks just
they're
like you. Like
yeah, yeah. Like
yeah.
that's the best compliment you can get in the whole world. Of when a newborn baby comes down, it's oh, it looks just like you. Oh well, crap. I don't. Thanks for
I
telling me I
guess
look
I
that
should have
bad.
taken a shower today because clearly I am rocking the space alien look.
But puppies are the same way. I mean, they're coming through a birth canal. Their bodies are manipulating to get through the
Their
tunnel, and
heads are
all the
smashed
things they're
up. Yeah.
squished, and so it's like
That's where the magic of props comes in. That's where you have cute baby blankets. That's where you have cute toys. Props. Props are things when you've got a really pretty dog and it's like in a just a really great, it's in a great little age and stage and all that stuff. Well, then that's no problem. But when you've got something where you've got, Rosemary's Baby, you need props to make that picture appealing. And that helps a lot.
now, would you? I mean, would you take 3-day-old pictures of puppies, or do you wait until their
I
eyes are
would
open? Because in
if
my mind, I'm like, mm,
I would do that if I had the right stuff to set up with them. I'm thumbing through to look, see if I have some pictures of some really young puppies, but I don't mind taking them, but they're harder. And I would probably take them, maybe as a bit of a unit and try to have something cute in the background and all of that stuff because things really do, it makes all the difference like
Maybe try to take them as a litter, as a group when they're all puddled
right,
together in.
exactly. And like this picture here, it has a cavalier pillow. They're on a white fleece. I mean, the color's been enhanced. Only 76 shots went into taking that one picture.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but you use those to get to capture what you're wanting to see in there, and that just really makes or breaks the photograph. And every minute, every time, everything you spend in doing better pictures will come back to you a gazillion times, because bad pictures are not going to get you you're not going to be happy with the result. And backgrounds and props and things like this, really make pictures that people will see, that they like. I mean, just, you know, really, how hard is this? This is not tough. There's never a reason to send out, substandard. And,
Well,
if you
and I mean, I think know your breed standard is a huge part of it too, because when I'm looking at pictures of
absolutely
chin, like my brain automatically goes to head shape and symmetry. That's like the first thing I look at is
right.
what's the coloring on their head, what's the shape of their face. That is like the biggest thing. My eyes would naturally go to it at this point, and that's like the first thing I draw to. And then that's that's a nice looking puppy, or oh, what happened? So then that brings up the next question, which would be, so you have a litter of puppies, maybe you have a mismark or something that's not breed standard, so you know it's going to be a pet puppy.
Right.
When you're posting pictures of that, how much of that should you try to
Well, you're
show?
going to go ahead and you're going to try to take flattering pictures of that dog. You're going to try to take the best pictures you can of that dog. You're probably not going to send that out with your show inquiries. Kind of, wait and see. I would probably advertise the other. This is a picture that somebody sent me, and I thought, wow, doesn't that? I mean, really, you're going to take it in behind the fence? That not a good picture. Not a good picture.
And
You
not a
want
picture you should post for your, if you're marketing your dog any sort of way. Don't
yeah,
put something like that.
So as far as like mismarks and stuff like that, I'm not saying to be ashamed of them or whatever. You just need to, I've had some pictures of some half mass puppies that were darling, super cute, but they're just got to be good pictures, and people will definitely be pulled into it. But it's and I'll tell you one thing: cuter dogs altogether make your pictures look like cute stuff in there together will make all the puppies look cuter. Like, so if you put, like if there's one really cute one, and it will make the rest of them look cute. And you can
If you put an
also
8 with 2 tens, it makes that 8 look like a 9, like, but you put her
exactly.
by herself and it's like, she
Hmm.
might not be an 8 even.
Exactly. And like a little bit of branding is not is a good thing with your pictures. Use something that is, that my baby has some of your information on it. But I'll tell you, just that extra 2 seconds it takes to take a nice picture will
Well, and it
in
and, a lot of people might think like, "Oh, I don't have the time or the energy to do that. It's gonna take me 5 minutes or whatever," and it's like, well, the picture that you're taking right now, it could be the difference between making a sale and not making a sale.
right. And
That picture could grab somebody's attention and get them to reach out to you and be like, "Is that puppy for sale?"
or even if you take a picture and you keep it, it's like you save that picture, use it as one of your typical puppies, it'll draw people in. And people are like, oh, don't be, don't sometimes show people are a little bit, oh, I don't dress my dogs. It's like, you know what though? If you're is talking about someone wanting their companion dog, they might want to dress it. They might want to do something like that. And I mean, and it's their dream, it's their thing. So I mean, if you've got to talk the same, thing as what they're looking for. But color, all of these things, this is like what pulls in. If you, and if you have a dog that maybe you got missing pigment on, maybe not quite so bright a color, maybe a little softer look, all of these things, but
I love show people. I am a show person. I love going to dog shows. I can appreciate a good stack as much as the next person. But one of the things that annoys me is that the people that I just want to see stacked dogs or they only post stacked dogs. And it's like
right,
the pictures that
sure.
you're showing here, I've seen like 3 stacked ones. The rest are all sitting, they're doing cute poses. It's
Well, or
all
or
about that facial expression.
you have the mom licking the new babies.
Yeah.
People love
Like,
that.
yeah.
That's one of those things that makes people want to be a part of that and
Like that
draws them
style.
in.
This goes with websites too, like that style of picture that you're just posting there, that's like a perfect caption for like our puppy page, and then there's that title picture of like, a mom, licking her
Her
puppies and,
babies,
it's
exactly,
yeah.
and your dog just laying on the recliner being goofy. It can show personality. It should be warmth and depth. All of those things are totally in there, but everybody's got a smartphone. Everybody has the possibilities to get good pictures and then if you get some that are just like extra good, use them for your website. Those can be your pictures that you can use for to represent your program and stuff like that. All that. It shouldn't just be show pictures unless you only want to sell show dogs. But if you think that you think people might like your dogs as, for like companions and stuff, nothing wrong with that.
Well, and there's a
You
lot
know,
more, there's a lot. I don't think there's anybody that's only selling show dogs, yourself included.
there you
Like,
go.
not every dog that comes out is a show dog. That's why we
Exactly.
show our dogs. Like,
Right.
there's good dogs or not so good dogs. I mean, even in my litter that I had now, it's like there's one in there that I can tell already, like, probably not gonna be a show dog, start lining up a pet
Still
home.
gonna be a
Not gonna work
beautiful
out.
dog. Someone is gonna
Still gonna
really
be
love that
probably gonna
dog.
be a great dog,
Yeah,
you
might be
know?
someone's favorite dog.
Yeah, not a best
But
in show winner, but,
there you go.
that's okay.
Best in home. All of those things are, all of
But
the
that's
stuff
part of
that
the game that we're playing. That's why we're breeding. We're not only breeding to give people great dogs. We're trying to find that next amazing show dog. A lot of us are trying to find that
sure,
next show
sure.
potential dog for ourselves or for somebody else. So I
Exactly.
mean, it all matters. I mean,
It all matters. It all matters.
you went and got a ring light for the video because that little bit enhances the video. It makes things
Exactly.
better.
Hey, all of those things make for a better overall appearance and makes people, it looks like you care because you care. And when you actually do care about that, then, I mean, so like when you're bathing your dogs, well, that's a good day to take pictures. When you're doing stuff like that, don't ever be in a rush. Get your pictures right. Sometimes if you're taking pictures, take a couple of different things, try a couple of different things, and don't send all of your pictures at one time. Save some for a little bit later. Now
If
one
you
thing
take 10 good pictures, send 2, and then,
too,
a week
hold a
later
couple
when you
ones
need to do your
back.
week
Yeah.
update. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Here's another picture. But, like when I take a deposit on a puppy, I tell them at the time when I do it, I send pictures every 2 weeks. So until it's 2 weeks, 14 days. 2 weeks is not 10 days. I mean, 14 days. Then we can do another picture. Don't ask me before that. I mean, hey, if you have lots of time and you like doing it and you want to get into it, rock on. You're awesome. But for those of us who are just barely hanging on, 2 weeks is an achievable goal. We can do that. We can make that happen.
Think about, like, we were talking about filters earlier, but even, like, cropping, we were just talking about bathing dogs. So I bathed dogs the other day. So I got a cute picture of a dog in the
Mhm.
bathtub. But it's like you
Yeah.
can crop it too and just make it like even a better picture. There's no need to see my shampoo on my bathtub or anything like
Nope.
that. You can crop it, you can crop it in and just like, oh, there we got a big picture of this Japanese chin that's wet and in the
It's
bathtub,
cute.
like
Yeah.
it's
Well,
cute
that's
and
great
it goes great on a
for
grooming section.
your grooming section in there going, washing your chin. These are the products this is how we do it. That kind of thing. All of that stuff. Very important. You have to have Your pictures of your dogs are as important as your dogs. It may
In
be
that one
more
bath
important.
picture, I deleted like 25 of them because he's moving around in the bathtub, and it's like you had to,
Sure.
but you make all sorts of goofy noises and hand movements to try to get one picture. And but
One
that's what
good
it's about.
picture.
It's getting that one picture that's just like I can see
The
expression on
money
his
shot.
face. Yeah, exactly.
The
And
money shot.
I didn't even have to wait on Walmart photo department to develop them in,
Yeah.
3 days later or 4 days, whatever it is.
You
It
know,
just
when I was in high school, I worked in a photo mat, one of those little booths, and I mean, and taking in pictures and then, writing it up and stuff and like, oh, they want doubles in this one, and all of that.
glossy
Back
finish versus matte finish.
Yeah, yeah, and, the idea of retouching, that was all done with a brush and where they would paint it out. I mean, it was big deal. Now, I mean, it's so easy. There's no reason for it. And then like I say, for your website, you have your stock photos, some of your favorites, kind of show what you've had over the years, and then you turn around and then as your litter, have a pretty picture of mom and dad and maybe like babies, that kind of thing, kind of
And
get people
that's one of the
excited,
things,
part of the
like,
experience.
have a good picture of your boys, have a good picture of your girls. If you can, people are like you said, people are gonna want to see mom and dad. So if you got a picture of mom a month before she got knocked up, perfect. They don't need to see her with the pregnant belly or right after birth. They need to see her
No,
like what she looks like in normal because they want to see what the puppies are gonna look like
exactly.
or what they could
Exactly.
look like. So
Yeah, the potential. But there's no reason. There's no reason. It's important. It's way important. And with the people, showing people are buying from out of the area, it's all they have is the picture.
yep, exactly. And then, there's the time where you're going to buy something going off of a picture and you're going to get duped. So make sure that you're giving good representation with your pictures, but good pictures.
Well,
Get the X pens out of there.
when people ask for like size and stuff, like, break out the Coke can, I'll take a picture of them on the baby scale, showing the number, you know, all of that, just to kind of like go, hey, this is real.
Yeah, this is what I'm
You know,
saying it is.
exactly.
And pictures can't always tell things like that. So it is nice to see, like, here, yeah, have a Coke can or have,
Something to
a
scale.
roll of paper towels. I've done a roll of paper towels before, which might not exactly be accurate because is that the roll of paper towels that's like 1 equals 6 or 6 equals 24? Is that a triple roll, quad pot? Because there's so many different
Sure.
marketing ways of that nowadays. Um, a soda can is a good thing, a tape
I had
measure,
a
something like that.
giant planter one time that was shaped like a teacup. And I took lots of pictures in that. I mean, it was a joke, but it was a big planter with a cup handle on it. But
And
anything
everybody's
you
like,
do
"Are
like
those
that,
dogs really that small that they fit
they're
in a
really
teacup?"
small. Yeah, they're in a cup. Yeah. And like children's furniture, you can get those little chairs and stuff like that. Great for pictures. Kind of gives
And
it
I
a
and I it depends on even, like, theme it with the time of year. Like, right now, get a little straw bale at Walmart. They're all over the place for, like, $5. Put a puppy on a
throw
little
your
straw hay
mums
bale. Yeah,
with your
with a mum
mums,
in the
your pretty
background.
fall mums. Absolutely. Yeah.
You get a pumpkin, carve it, put the dog inside, have him peek out the front of the little carving or something. I mean,
Exactly. You don't have to
I
like,
just thought of some picture
oh, it's
ideas. There we go.
laundry day. When it's laundry day, we're stripping the sheets off the bed, throw it over the recliner, and take the pictures. Aim higher. Do more.
If you're gonna do laundry day, get the clean towels out of the dryer, throw them in the laundry
There you go.
basket, put little Fluffy in the laundry basket with the clean towels, put a towel over his head so he can poke his little face out of the hole, grab a picture, and there now you have to rewash your laundry. There you go.
Maybe we should ask everyone to share a picture, one of their favorite pictures of one of their dogs on the Facebook page. Kind
There
of
you
get
go.
some inspiration ideas going on there.
That's perfect. So after you subscribe to the YouTube channel, which you can do right now while you're watching this, right underneath our pictures, you just hit that subscribe button. You can do the thumbs up button too. If you don't like the video, what you can do is if you hit the thumbs up button twice, it really just lets us know. But anyway, and then hit the bell so you get that little notification thing on your phone when we put out the new videos. And then you can go to the Facebook group, the Tack Box Podcast on Facebook. You can join our group And then, yeah,
Mhm.
let's post pictures of, like, our
Yeah, you could
favorite puppy picture.
absolutely, and you can talk about how Tyson said babies were ugly. We can
Yeah,
say that, you know,
yeah. I
and
mean
throw that right out there. All the
I
parents who
mean,
didn't have
well,
an ugly
maybe
baby.
maybe we could put a poll in our Facebook group. Do you think one-day-old babies are ugly? Yes or no?
Which one of these is ugly?
Yeah. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining this episode of the Tac Box Podcast. This will wrap us up for talking about pictures. Join us next week. I think next week we're going to talk about naming litters, registering litters. We got to get into that because
Themes. Fun.
yeah, I got to figure out what this theme of this litter is going to be, and then
Mhm.
it's like I got to
If it's
register
bad,
the
it could be like the
litter, and
Titanic or something like that, or you could
yeah, it's
name
all
them
going
Nash.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I like seeing names, like, sometimes you just start putting them together of, like, "Oh, they went with that theme," like, when I'm
exactly.
researching dogs or something like that, but,
It's very fun.
um alright, thanks everybody for joining. We will
Take
talk to you
care.
guys next week. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye-bye.